What's up, everybody? It's time to break down UFC 311. Let's get right into it. First fight of the night, we have Tagir Ulanbekov coming in at minus 334 versus Clayton Carpenter plus 250. These odds are actually pretty ridiculous. I think the odds are pretty crazy for the first 4 or 5 fights, to be honest. Yes, Ulanbekov's a great fighter, but he has lost to guys that can kind of wrestle and grapple and make it a back and forth kind of scrambling kind of fight. And that's kind of what Clayton Carpenter can do here, to be perfectly honest. Don't get me wrong. If the odds were 50-50, the pick is Ulanbekov. But at these odds, I don't like that as a bet. The bet is a pass for me. Ulanbekov's the pick, but I would not be putting my money on those odds. What do you think?
Ulanbekov's the pick, but Clayton Carpenter's a grappler and Ulanbekov's a grappler. Ulanbekov does well when he can grapple. He could probably get the takedowns, but I think he's going to get taken down a little bit too. I don't think Clayton Carpenter can flow as well as he has with other opponents because this is a big step up for him. I think that's where the money line comes in. It's a big step up. Ulanbekov has faced the better grapplers, faced the better fighters in general over his career. Fight kind of reminds me of the Bruno Silva fight that Ulanbekov had with Bruno Silva. Like, I think it was his first fight in the UFC. It was a tough fight, tough win. He barely won. And some people could say that he didn't win, but I think he did. But I had a bet on him at that point. Odds are off. I'm picking Ulanbekov, but I wouldn't be like on the confidence scale. It's kind of low. Striking's Ulanbekov has a good jab and stuff, but other than that, striking looks to be a wash in this fight, to be quite honest with you.
It's just that loss to Tim Elliott because Clayton Carpenter can kind of do that same kind of scramble heavy, just a close fight. And a close fight, the odds shouldn't be minus fucking 334.
No, and Ulanbekov kind of slows down as the fight goes on as well too. So
Next fight of the night, again, I think the first few, the odds are weird. We got Ricky Turcios coming in at plus 275, 12-4 record. And he's facing Bernardo Sopaj, 11-3, coming off that vicious knockout to Salvador. Again, I don't understand why somebody coming off a loss is a minus 350 favorite. I get it. Ricky Turcios is not as dangerous as the guy who just knocked out Bernardo, but still, you're still coming off a loss. I don't know how you're a minus 350 favorite. It doesn't make sense to me. Ricky Turcios is more known for maybe a frantic pace and more of a grapple heavy style than really a vicious knockout artist, the way that Bernardo just lost. But still, regardless, I can't get there at minus 350. There's no way I can get there. It's another pass. There's no chance I'm playing these fights here. What do you think?
So the thing about Ricky Turcios is that he has a really shitty takedown defense and a really good get-up game, right? So if Sopai did anything right in that Vinicius Oliveira fight, is that he used the takedowns. But we got to remember there's a couple things. He took that fight on short notice, so I'm not quite sure that the gas tank was fully there. Now, with a full camp and a full gas tank, can he put that wrestling on to Turcios for the whole entire fight? Not to mention that he has pretty decent striking, and it's not like Turcios has good striking. It's Turcios has this volume-based striking with zero power. He isn't going to knock out my 11-year-old daughter, and yeah, so that's the problem. What Turcios has here is volume. Is volume going to win him this fight? I don't think he stays on his feet quite as much as people think he's going to stay on his feet here. Odds are way off, but they're more. I can see more of a path for Bernardo Sopai than Tagir Ulanbekov, to be quite honest with you. Sopai at least has the wrestling edge. I'll say the wrestling edge in this fight, and multiple takedowns is on the table here if he wants to fight smart. So, and I also kicked the gas tank issue that he had because he was slowing down. Honestly, he won those first 2 rounds against Vinicius Oliveira before he got knocked out. The second round was kind of close, but the first one for sure he won. For sure he won. And I had a bet on him that night, but the gas tank didn't look right there. So I'm going to chalk that up to UFC first fight. And I don't think the odds are warranted, but I think he wins this fight.
Okay, next fight of the night, we got Rinya Nakamura, 9-0, coming in at minus 550 versus Muin Gafurov, 19-6, coming back at plus 400. Again, the odds are fairly wide considering Nakamura has kind of been underwhelming his last couple fights. He came in as a guy who was kind of finishing everybody, and lately he's kind of been looking like someone who can't finish anybody. Now, granted, he fought some Mexican chins. He's fought some tough guys that are very hard to finish, so I guess he gets the pass there. But like, he was really nowhere close to finishing those fights. He's just a way stronger athlete here. He should be the guy who can take down Gafurov, probably at will. Yeah, just explosive athlete. I'm sure he hits hard. I'm sure he's got the submissions. I would like to see some more urgency because the last few fights didn't look like he was anywhere near anything, and it's just tough again to get there at a minus 550. Like this is a great card. I love the card. I'm gonna be placing lots of bets later on. It's just these first few fights I can't get there personally. I think Nakamura beats him just by being the stronger, more explosive athlete, but I'm not laying 550 on it. And there's no props yet on any finishes and anything like that. And I don't think he's going to finish anyways. So it's a pass for me. What do you think?
I love Nakamura in this spot, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I know minus 550, but like this is a strong minus 550 if you ask me. If anything, he's got the wrestling edge by far. He hits harder than Gafurov. And Gafurov, man, he's been taken down he got taken down 3 times by Kung Ho Kang. He got taken down like 3 times by John Castaneda. And Renya Nakamura is double the wrestler both of those guys are. And even though he didn't finish his last few fights, there is no point in the fight that you thought he was gonna lose. He didn't get knocked like, he's wobbly or anything. He never got he was in control of the whole thing. Yes, I'd like to see some more urgency out of him, but if you want to take a money line and someone that's going to probably win 95% of the time, because those odds are saying he's going to win 95% of the time, it's this fight. Gafurov only sports about a 65% takedown defense, and we know Nakamura is going to go for takedowns. That's what he does. So it's going to be punching to takedown. I don't think I don't think Gafurov has the striking to even get close to Nakamura before he gets taken down. So, yeah, man, Nakamura should win this in all facets of the game. He's the stronger wrestler in this part.
All right. First fight of the night, and this will be my first bet of the night. We've got Carol Rosa coming in at minus 275, sporting an 18-6 record, and she is taking on Aylin Perez, the twerker, coming in at 11-2. The odds have shifted and gotten even wider. Last time I checked, they weren't this wide. Aylin Perez is now coming in at plus 225, and I'm on the dog here. I think Carol Rosa is a dog. She is great and making fights kind of sloppy, making them very close, making like just coming out on top in reckless grinding fights. She's a tough girl. She's very tough. And she's great when she can get on top of you. But her takedown defense isn't that great. And from the bottom, I don't really like her game that much. I think Aylin Perez can get the takedowns, and she is someone who will shoot. She generally sticks to that game plan. Aylin Perez likes to take you down and win by being on top of you. And I think she can get the takedowns and win this fight. Is it a super confident pick? No. But I think at the value, even at even odds, I'm probably on Aylin Perez, but at plus 225, I'm definitely riding Perez here. I think she's getting better every fight. And I just think stylistically she can score the takedowns, and at worst it's a very close fight. Like I don't think she's a like more than a 2-1 underdog here. So I'm on Perez. What do you think?
I'm on Perez too. The only issue is her gas tank is sometimes wonky and sometimes not wonky. So like against Pudilova, she wins the first 2 rounds and then kind of gets controlled in the third round. But against Daria, she looks strong all 3 rounds. So that's the only problem here I see. Rosa's a far better striker, but Perez doesn't really like to stand up too much quite a bit. She does push those takedowns and multiple takedowns at that, right? It's not just one, it's like multiple takedowns. And her control on the ground is pretty damn good. I mean, she had 6 against Jocelyn Edwards, 10 against Ashley Evans Smith. So this is a girl that actually goes for takedowns. Now, Rosa, you might say, oh, she sports like a 70% takedown defense. Yeah, right. But everyone she's been fighting is pure strikers, right, man? Penny Kianzad, who else was it? Irene Aldana, Yana Santos. Norma Dumont took her down, and she lost that one. Lena Landsberg, and then Sarah McMahon, the only fucking wrestler she's ever fought in her entire life, took her down 4 times. So she doesn't really fight wrestlers. So this is a nice clash of styles. And it's not something Rosa sees very often. And she has been matched up really well in her last fight. So, yeah, man, a plus 200. that's a big spread for someone that hasn't fought a wrestler, and the only time she's fought a wrestler has gotten taken down. So I can see where the dog comes in this. So I don't think. Can I get there? Yes, probably. I'm not betting on Rosa in this fight, that's for sure. So I'm gonna stick with the dog with you on this one because I see where you're coming from, and I echo those sentiments as well.
All right, next fight of the night. One of my guys I like to watch. I'm a big Diego Ferreira fan. He's coming in 19-5 record, and he is coming in as a pretty big underdog here, plus 225. He's taking on Grant Dawson, 22-2-1 as the minus 275 favorite. I'm going to be honest, like maybe people won't like my opinion or whatever because I don't like Grant Dawson, so I'm probably very biased here. I find him extremely boring. I think he's the most one-dimensional fighter there is out there. And that one dimension might be enough because Diego Ferreira, as good of a grappler as he is, as good as he is in scrambles and submissions and all that, he's not a wrestler. So Grant Dawson wants to make this a grappling match. He will be the person who's on top. He's the wrestler. He's going to be the stronger guy. He should be the guy getting the takedowns, and all he has to do is not get subbed from top position, and he should win this fight. So that's exactly what he should be able to do. I'm going to hope like hell Diego Ferreira can create havoc. But I mean, the odds suggest he can't, and that's probably accurate. He probably can't sweep him and sub him, or he probably can't knock him out for the 1 minute it's standing before he gets taken down. But I'm hoping like hell Diego Ferreira pulls it off. And because he's such a big underdog, it would be dog or pass for me. But like I totally get it. Dawson should be able to just keep taking him down, rinse and repeat, and decision him over the 3 rounds. So Grant Dawson decision will be my pick, but I won't be playing it. I can't stand him, and I'm rooting for Diego Ferreira. What do you think?
If Diego Ferreira didn't get taken down multiple times all the time, he'd be a great dog to bet on here. But Gamrot got him down 4 times. Gillespie got him down 4 times. Dariush got him down 4 times. Even that fight against Rebecca got him down 4 times. He won that fight because he's a dog, and Rebecca gassed. That's the only thing here with Dawson, though. Like, Dawson can gas. I've seen it happen. I haven't seen it happen lately, but I've seen it happen. Who did he fucking fight? Who was it? He gassed so hard and he got a tie. He got a freaking draw. It was Ricky Glenn back in the day. He won those first 2 rounds big time and then gassed out like a motherfucker. So, I mean, it's on the table, but, Grant Dawson control, that's his thing. He's going to take down Diego Ferreira, can try to control him for 3 rounds. And, like, his wrestling's better. Ferreira's takedown defense is a little suspect. Ferreira's a better striker because I think Grant Dawson has absolutely no striking. And if he does want to stay up on the feet for like any amount of time, he's putting himself in danger. So I don't see it. He doesn't do it though. Like he shoots right away, like all the time, right? Like I've watched 3 fights. It's just like boom, right there. So yeah, I guess minus 275 is pretty decent because of Ferreira. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be Dawson by decision.
All right, next fight of the night, we've got a replacement. We got Zach Reese, 8-1, taking on Azamat Bekoev. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm going to be honest. He's 18-3, and he's stepping in on very short notice. This fight scares me, and it feels like a trap. But there's no odds, so I don't even know. I don't really know what to think. Or at least Bet365 has no odds. Maybe other books do. From the literally 20 minutes worth of research I could do, I am actually scared for Zach Reese here. I think Zach Reese would have rolled over Cedricus Dumas. I think he would have knocked him out. Or if he didn't knock him, I don't know. I felt very good about Reese in the last spot. Here I don't. This Azamat, 18-3, never been knocked out. How does Zach Reese win fights? He likes to knock you out. So if he can't knock him out, Azamat has a lot of submissions, well-rounded game, more experience. I think this is a much tougher fight than Cedricus Dumas. And with no odds, I might as well not even have a say because I got to see what the numbers say and make sense of it. But I think it's a tougher fight, and I won't be playing. I don't think I'll be touching it anyways. What do you think?
Way tougher fight. Way tougher fight. Bekoev or whatever his name is, he's a pressure fighter actually. He'll go right after Zach Reese. And he'll get into that firefight. And when he gets into a firefight and he doesn't like it, he'll drop down for the takedowns. Now, Zach Reese is known to play that jiu-jitsu game off of his back, right? So that's the problem. He accepts position sometimes. And if he accepts position against this guy, That's not good, man. Because this guy will stand at the top. He has submissions too, and he has, like you said, a well-rounded game. And yeah, man. So I think Zach has the power edge. I'm not quite sure that he has the technique and the striking edge, to be quite honest with you. Uh, the Russian, he likes the pressure though, and like I said, man, when he gets into some tough spots, he'll take down Zach. And my problem with Zach is that he's too willing to go down, right? Like he gets taken down, and this guy will take down, and he won't stop. So. And Zach, the problem is he doesn't fight to get up. He tries to play jits off his back. That's so stupid. You got to fight to get up, man. So with that, I don't have any odds, but like if this guy is a big dog to Zach Reese, I might sprinkle that shit because I see some path to victory for the Russian man.
Agree 100%. Next fight of the night, we got Jailton Almeida 21-3 versus Sergey Spivac 17-4. Jailton Almeida is the minus 450 favorite, Spivac plus 350. Even though both of these guys are top 10 fighters, like it is a fairly relevant fight to the division. I just have no interest in it. These are two guys that I don't like. I think they're extremely one-dimensional. They're both fucking leg humpers. They both want to get you down and grapple you. And Almeida's just had some disgustingly boring fights, in my opinion. I do think he wins this one because I think he's the one who shoots first. I think he's stronger, more explosive. I think he gets the takedown, and once he gets the takedown, he's either going to lay on him for 3 rounds, or maybe he finds a choke or something like that. But either way, I do think Almeida wins. Don't love the minus 450. I do think he gets it done fairly confidently, to be honest, but it's just not a fight I like at all. What do you think?
Almeida's gonna run through him, I think, because like I think he's got the better wrestling. I think he's got the better grappling, and I think the kicker really is he's stronger than Sergey Spivak, much bigger man. People say that Spivak probably has the weight advantage here, but like they're both small heavyweights in my opinion. So like Almeida might actually have the better striking here too. So it's hard to say. They don't really strike, but I know for
Yeah.
sure that he's the stronger guy, and I know for sure he's going to get the takedown. Finish? I don't know. Now, Jelton's a weird guy. Like, he doesn't always go for the finish. And Spivak, he's a decent grappler, so he's not going to just get subbed, right? But, maybe strength overcomes all that. But I'm pretty confident in Jelton here. Jelton and Rinya, I like those two. I know they're big odds, but I think they're nice little backbone to what I'll start for the night.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got hot prospect Peyton Talbot coming in at minus 1200 with the perfect 9-0 record, and he is taking on someone with a ton of experience, Rayoni Barcelos, 18-5. This is a massive step up in competition. Barcelos is a good fighter, or I should say, he was a good fighter. Like, no doubt. Talbot's been starching people, but he's been starching absolute bums. Barcelos is not a bum. The only thing you can really say on Barcelos right now is that he's old. He's 37. 37 as a heavyweight is different than 37 at 135 pounds, where lightning fast reflexes, fast guys like that. That 37 is old for 135. Barcelos, the only time that was like alarmingly bad or whatever, I shouldn't even say it's bad, was when Nurmagomedov just destroyed him with that vicious knockout. But other than that, I mean, he's rebounded. He's got a win since then. Like, it's not like, like this is a massive, massive, massive step up for Peyton Talbot. Massive step up, but still, I think he's too fast. I think he's too explosive. He's too young. And I think he's going to find the chin, and unfortunately, he's going to knock the old guy out. And I hate seeing that. I hate seeing the old guys matched with the young guys, because this is what happens. The young guys knock the old guys out, and that's exactly what I see happening. But Barcelos is a legitimate big step up in competition, at least. What do you think?
Same thing. I think he's faster. I think he's younger, and that's the only issue. Now, I've seen him getting taken down, and I've seen Rowney use his wrestling. He has a Brazilian wrestling champ. So, like, man, if he uses wrestling, he can, even the playing cards here. So, I still think Peyton Talbot wins. I'm not betting this fight, and if I was to bet this fight, I'd put a little bit on Rowney just for fun because it'd be nice for him to just like ride out a wrestling. I think his ground game might be the only thing that he has here, and if he wants to push some ground game, Then he'll even the playing field. If he wants to fight standing up with him, he doesn't have the volume and he doesn't have the chin to fucking stand up to Peyton Talbot. That's all.
All right. And the last prelim of the night, we've got Bogdan Guskov, 16-3, coming back at minus 334 now, taking on last minute replacement for Billy Elekana, 7-1. Elekana coming back at plus 250. He's replacing Johnny Walker. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen the footage. Johnny Walker's been knocked out a couple times recently in training. I know they're not disclosing the injury, but that's what it is. You can't be knocked out a couple weeks out from a fight and be fighting. So that brain needs a rest. Billy Elekana, don't know a whole lot about him. I'm not going to pretend to know a whole lot about him, but from the 5 minutes of YouTube that I researched and saw, I think Bogdan Guskov should win this fight here. Should be able to keep it standing and outstrike him and probably knock him out, to be honest. I don't like betting necessarily when it's people I haven't seen in the octagon, but I don't know. I just don't really see anything in this Billy guy. What do you think?
Same thing. He looks slow on the feet. He looks a little plodding. He does like to kick to the body a little bit. Doesn't push a hard ground game, but he's apparently he does have a little bit. But yeah, man. So like he fought a couple guys where he fought safe. I saw a PFL fight where he fought safe. I see a couple fights where he fought safe. And if you want to fight safe against Bogdan Guskov, you're going to go to sleep because he doesn't fight safe. He'll come right after you. And for all intents and purposes, unless you're what's his name, the guy that Guskov just he lost to. Damn it.
Was it Volkan?
Yes,
Uzdemir?
Volkan. That's the one. Unless you're Volkan with a bunch of experience and shit, like he's. I mean, Guskov just ran through. I know Ryan Span's not a big name, but Ryan Span's won some fights in the UFC, right? So like Guskov is getting those guys, and I know that Ryan Span also doesn't have a chin, and that's the thing about betting this fight. You don't know how durable Billy Elekana really is because honestly, he's fighting guys on the regional scene, PFL. He's never felt a guy like Bogdan hit him, right? So we don't know how he's going to react. So he might be durable as hell, right? But I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bogdan because I think he has the death touch, and Billy fights too straight up for me, man. Like if he had a little bit of variety to his game, it would work. But if I'm gonna stand in front of Guskov, then good night.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Moving on to the main card. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. This is a fantastic main card. First fight to open the prelims. We got Kevin Holland, 26-12, taking on second UFC fight in his stint coming over. Renier de Ritter, 18-2. He's coming over as the grappling wizard. In his debut, he submitted GM3 in the third round. Didn't look amazing doing it. By no means did he look amazing doing it. I'm thinking all kind of unders here. I think there's absolutely a world where de Ritter can take him down right away and tap him out right away. Totally possible. We've seen that happen to Kevin Holland before. But I think if he doesn't get Kevin Holland down right away, he gets knocked the fuck out. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. I think Kevin Holland can knock him out. It's hard to trust Kevin Holland because he's so inconsistent. He's hot, cold, hot, cold. Honestly, there's no props right now. It's possible that I play a Kevin Holland knockout and a de Ritter submission, and I think one of those two scenarios is going to happen. If they're both plus money, and decent plus money, I might play them both, or I might play like under 1.5 because I just don't think de Ritter can wait till round 3 to sub Kevin Holland like he did with GM3. And Kevin Holland is a decent grappler. Like he's by no means a terrible submission grappler. So I don't know, man. De Ritter's got to win early or he gets knocked out is what I'm thinking. So I'll be looking at the unders and I'll be looking at those finish props. What do you think?
De Ritter really had a good first round against GM3. Really controlled him in the first round. But as you see the fight go on, he kind of slowed down and the body language wasn't really good, right? And if that's the case, if Kelvin Holland is gonna get you in that sort of body language in round 3, he's not gonna go down. He's not gonna. I don't know how GM3 just went down with those easy ass takedowns. Like those takedowns were nothing special from de
He was
Ritter.
gassed.
Yeah, he must have been gassed. But Kevin Holland, if one thing about Kevin Holland, he's not gonna fucking gas. Kevin Holland won't gas. He might be a freaking idiot. He might be an idiot in a cage. He might not take shit seriously. That's why betting on him is such a big deal sometimes, right? Is like Kevin Holland going to take it seriously? Is not because Michael Vick and Page fight. Remember that? That looked like a fucking showcase. And there's certain fights where like you're like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, right? You know what I mean? So I didn't like the body language as that fight went on for DeRitter. So I like Kevin Holland here. The problem is I don't like Kevin Holland to win many of the minutes. I think it's going to be some sort of out of nowhere kind of finish from Kevin Holland. It's going to be just Kevin Holland-esque. But yeah, I feel that he's going to lose the first round. So honestly, if you want to bet this fight, you might as well let the first round go because I think he gets taken down and loses the first round. And I don't think DeRitter can finish him. DeRitter only finished GM3, like you said, because GM3 was really tired at the end of that fight. But you remember those chokes that he had in the first round and the second round. He wasn't even close to finishing those. You're like, oh, he's on his back. Oh. So he's just like, is he gonna do that to Kevin Holland? I don't think so. So I'm gonna take this live, if anything, and I'm gonna take it after round one. This all backfires if Kevin Holland comes out like a bat out of hell, but I'm gonna take it after round one because I'm gonna get plus money on Kevin Holland after round one, I think. So that's my bet here. Kevin Holland after round one because I want to get that plus 300.
All right. Next fight of the night, we've got a great fight. We got Beneil Dariush, 22-6-1, coming in at now plus 140. So these odds have actually tightened, and he's taking on money Hanato Moicano, 25-20 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. Dariush, on paper, the guy is a jiu-jitsu champion, a world champ. He's a better grappler than Moicano, technically. Like, his credentials are a better grappler. Moicano is not some great striker, so striking, I guess, fairly even. I give Dariush the power. They're both kind of chinny, so you can't really trust either chin. I mean, this is a fight where if Beneil Dariush isn't totally washed, Dariush should win this fight. He should be able to be the one on top of Moicano, or he should be able to even sting him on the feet, to be honest. Like, Dariush's kryptonite is heavy hitters. Anybody who hits hard, I'm going to pick against Dariush. I'm going to pick Dariush to get knocked out. But Moicano is not some knockout artist. Like, if Dariush is getting knocked out by Moicano, he is done. Retire. This is it. But Moicano is not that heavy hitter, so I liked it when the odds were wider. I really wanted to play Dariush, but now they have tightened. Plus 140, it's not like some incredible value. So they've tightened to the point where he's a slight underdog, which I guess probably makes sense. I'm a fan of both guys. Honestly, I truly am. I like Moicano. I think he's a funny character. I think his post-fight speeches are absolutely absurd, but I like them, so I don't care. I actually like both guys here. I don't want to see either of them fucking get knocked out. I don't want to see it. I think this is a good matchup for Dariush. I like him here. I liked him earlier. I liked him when he was like close to plus 200, plus 140. Now I don't like him so much, but I think this is a fight Dariush can win. I don't think he submits Moicano, and I don't think he necessarily knocks him. Like, I could see him winning a decision here, being on top, almost like a Tony Ferguson style, where he was just on top of him most of the fight. But I mean, if he was out scrambling Gamrot, I just don't see how Moicano is going to be the one to get on top of Dariush. Like, Dariush should be winning the grappling exchanges. So if he's winning the grappling exchanges, how does he lose? He gets knocked out? I don't know. Is Moicano going to knock him out? He's not a knockout puncher. This is just my head going back and forth. Obviously, I'm rambling here, but I think it's a winnable fight for Dariush. That's how I see it. What do you think?
I hit him when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago. I hit him at like plus 240, right?
That's what I'm see. I like him at those odds.
Yeah, I hit him at plus 240. I just thought that the grappling is pretty close. Moicano's been winning his fights by grappling, right? Like he grapple fucked who was that last guy? Benoit Saint Denis. He kept taking him down and just getting on top. And
Jalen Turner.
Jalen Turner, same thing. Drew Dober, same thing. Brad Riddell, that one was a little bit different, but he's not winning by striking. And who's the guys that are knocking out being Dariush, right? It was Tsarukyan hit him with a shot.
Charles Oliveira.
Oliveira hit him with a shot. Edson Barbosa hit him with a flying knee, which he was actually
Hernandez.
winning that fight most of that fight, and he got knocked out by Hernandez because the
It's
crowd
hard.
didn't think this guy could hit. But every other time when it's like a grappling match or anything close, but both times with Diego Ferreira, he out grappled him. So yeah, this
Gamrot.
is
He out grappled
he out
Gamrot.
grappled Gamrot. So that was the key here. So I'm gonna go with Dariush because I think he's stronger everywhere around. And I, unless you're knocking him out, I think he has better striking than Moicano as well. And Moicano is takes punches to the face quite a bit. So give me Dariush because I think he's the more well-rounded fighter in this. I got him at a good odds. I probably might double down at 140. 140, I might just like add him into a parlay, a small little one or something like that. So
Well, there's a lot of dogs. You could definitely make a dog parlay.
mhm.
All right, next fight of the night. This is a fantastic matchup. I mean, flip a fucking coin. You got this is this is the violence gods here. We got Yuri Prochazka now sitting at plus 100, and he is 35-1, and he is taking on Jamal Hill 12-2. Jamal Hill minus 100. So basically, pick 'em odds. Two guys that finished the majority of their fights. I mean, Yuri 28 out of 30 fights, 30 wins are finishes. So this guy's a very violent guy. He likes to finish fights. Jamal Hill likes to finish fights for the most part. Hey, let's face it, this is going to be a striking match. Somebody's going to go down. And truthfully, I can see either of them going down. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words here. It's just an exciting matchup. Who's going to land first? Who the hell knows where they're at? You could say Yuri gets hit a lot and he's chinny, but is he really chinny? Getting knocked out by Alex Pereira doesn't make you fucking chinny, man. The guy took shots from friggin' Reyes before putting Reyes out. He took shots from friggin' Rakic. He took shot like, man, Yuri. He's hittable, and sure, he might look funny and unorthodox and stumble across the cage a lot, but I don't know for sure that you can call him chinny. And Jamal Hill, we just don't really know truly how good he is. The only thing we know about Jamal Hill is he is the true king of cringe. I think the whole world wants to see him get knocked out here. I would love nothing more for a Yuri knockout. I don't know. I don't know how to play though. Jamal Hill does have good hands, so somebody's getting knocked out. Somebody's getting knocked out. I love Yuri, so I'm with Yuri, but it won't shock me if Jamal Hill knocks him out or whatever. But regardless, I hate Jamal Hill just for the way he's been acting. I can't bet on Jamal Hill. I'm on Yuri. Definitely not a confident pick. I know what it is. It's two knockout artists. Flip a fucking coin here. What do you think?
You know how much I love Yuri. I love Yuri. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I got him here because I think he's the stronger, more well-rounded guy. But don't kid me not, Jamal Hill's got fast hands and good technique. Um, and Yuri's going to get hit. But I think the more durable fighter is Yuri Prochazka. He's gotten hit with the more shots, and he just walks through it. That war he went to with Glover was a pretty fucking sick fight. Like, and you know what? I think he actually might have the grappling edge here as well if he wants to use it. He doesn't use it too often, but when he does use it, it is very effective in the fights, right? So he didn't use it against Rakic until later on in that fight, and when he did use it, it was effective, right? So and I also think he has elbows and knees and other things that he could bring into this. And again, it's kind of like the Kevin Holland breakdown. I feel like Jamal Hill probably is winning the minutes in this fight until he's not, because we know Yuri is a big puncher and it comes out of nowhere, right? So kind of like that Rakic fight. He lost the first round and then came back strong. So durability is on Yuri's side. This is not cleaner technique. I just think he's a tougher, more well-rounded guy. And Jamal Hill just rubs me the wrong way, but he does have clean technique and punch as well. So this is a tight fight, but I'm on Yuri because the odds say that I should be on Yuri in a close fight. So plus, it's one of my favorite guys, and I don't go against some of my favorite guys. So
All
bad
right.
here, guys.
Co-main event of the night, we've got the champ Merab Dvalishvili, 18-4, taking on Umar Nurmagomedov, 18-0. The challenger minus 334, a massive favorite, and I 100% agree. Merab fights in general, you could say, is going to a decision. Like that is generally the general consensus, and I think most people will still say the same thing. They're probably saying Umar decision or Umar decision. I actually think Umar's going to knock him out. As crazy as that might sound, I think Merab's fights are generally going to decisions because he's able to implement that grappling and it just becomes that kind of a fight. I don't think he'll be able to get any wrestling going against Umar. I think Umar will be able to stuff the shots. I think Umar's the better wrestler. And I think Merab gets hurt pretty easily, to be honest. Just not too many people can keep it there to hurt him. So I think Umar can keep it there to hurt him, and I think he's going to knock him out. And I think he's going to do it pretty cleanly and make it look fairly easy. I know a lot of people will not agree with that take. Totally cool. But I am going to be waiting for that prop to drop, and I will be taking Umar by knockout. I totally get it. Anybody who says decisions or whatever, cool. I'm on Umar knockout. What do you think?
I think the grappling and the wrestling kind of like evens itself out in this fight. It's going to be a standing match, and in a standing match, I take Umar. And when Merab starts to lose that standing match, he's going to try to push some wrestling. But again, like you said, I don't think he can take on Umar. Um, Umar showed a little bit of kinks in the armor over the last couple fights, but not really crazy. And let's believe it, he's still young and he's still learning. So yeah, I'm going to take Umar here based on striking because other than some of the other Nurmagomedovs, Umar's got some crisp striking and he's a lot better than some of his proteges that were in the past. You know what I mean? So he's not as rudimentary as Khabib and all those other guys. Islam, that we're going to talk about next, has actually gotten better over the years as well. So yeah, man, I think the striking is definitely on his side, and I think that's what is going to tip the scales. Umar, knockout's possible. Marab's a tough fucking guy, so who knows?
All right, main event of the evening. We got the champ Islam Makhachev, 26-1, taking Arman Tsarukyan, 22-3. This is the rematch. I went back and watched that whole fight because I remember it being razor close. It actually wasn't as close as I thought. Islam very cleanly won round 2 and 3. Round 1 was very close. I thought Islam definitely ran away round 2 and 3. And I thought Arman was actually pretty gassed in round 2 and 3, which I was surprised because obviously he's in phenomenal shape. We've seen him go 5 rounds many times. The Gamrot fight, even some of those fight nights, we've seen him go in a lot of high-paced scramble matches or whatever. So the fight originally really scared me. I thought, man, Arman might knock Islam out, and he still might. Obviously, that he has the chance to do that. But the more and more you sit on it and think about it, Islam should be a little bit better everywhere. He should be a bit better striker, a bit better submissions, and the wrestling I think is going to be very even. I do think Islam's going to get taken down a couple times here. I think Arman's going to score some takedowns. Islam probably gets a couple takedowns. Arman probably gets a couple takedowns. Islam probably does not look great in this fight because it's going to be very difficult to look great against Arman. I think it's going to be a struggle. I think there's going to be rounds where it's dicey. He's probably going to lose some rounds. But as long as Islam doesn't gas and doesn't get knocked out, he should win the fight. I think he's just slightly more skilled, slightly better fighter. So I'm on Islam, and probably decision. I don't see him. I mean, Arman's been wobbled before too, but still, either way, Islam's slightly ahead of him. As long as Islam doesn't have a bad weight cut and gas, and as long as he doesn't get KO'd, I think he should be slightly ahead here. What do you think?
I think the overs are all in play. I like Islam in this fight. In fact, like I said it before in my other breakdown, Islam showed a lot of like better striking these days. Striking has gotten a lot better. The head kick to Volkanovski, he showed that he can stand up with guys. He stood up for parts of that Dustin Poirier fight until he actually finished him. So, you know, Arman's as tough as Poirier is, and maybe as stupid, but you know, we've seen him wobbled and we've seen him hit by lesser competition. So I can't go against Islam. He hasn't really lost to anybody, and he's getting stronger by every fight. So until if Arman beats him, Arman beats him. But I'll ride the hot hand like I do with John Jones, right? You can't. I'm not going to be the guy that tries to pick against these guys just for the fact of picking against these guys. I think he actually wins this fight. I think he actually wins it pretty cleanly. I think, like you said, he's slightly better in all aspects of MMA. So I'm going with Islam.
I think it's a popular pick to pick Arman. One, because the odds are too wide. It shouldn't be minus 400 to plus 300. It shouldn't be that wide. And I think Islam has looked pretty like human the last few fights. He's lost some rounds and all that. So there's been his moments. But regardless,